أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وسلم. I have to go through the protocol because I have nobody to ask so that I can stand on the existing protocol. Unless if I can permit myself to stand on the existing protocol. So I permitted myself to stand on the existing protocol. Thank you very much, the organizers of this lecture. And I must appreciate the guest speaker, the discussant, and the committee representatives who made some presentation here. Mine is to thank you for this very important work you have done for the people of Katsina State. And to take you back a little, as mentioned by the guest speaker, the history behind all these things was when I was contemplating in my mind to contest for governorship 2 years before the election, I think 2018, I began to think of what will I do if I become a governor. Within that, I came up with some of these ideas. When I came up with these ideas, I called a colleague of mine and dictated to him, and he put a policy document. I dictated to him, and he put a policy document. When he put the policy document, I said, look, let's review it. Then I chose few of us, I think about 14 of us, and we traveled to Dubai and stayed for 14 days. And I presented my ideas. We put it to scrutiny. There were criticism. People were saying a lot of things on all of it. And at the end of it, we debated and came up with a document that we all believe is possible for us to implement. And when we came back, we started the electioneering campaign with the party Black Bearership. And when we got the nomination, we now felt that let's give it a wider perspective. So we put up about 200 knowledgeable people that we are proud of in this state to review what we have done. They criticize and make recommendations, and then they came up with a policy, and each of the committee made presentation, and there was criticism, observations, and what have you. At the end of it, all of us agree that we should implement this strategic policy, and it was named Building Your Future. One thing that I have been nursing in my mind and what I had wanted to do in my life is to always try the impossibilities. When people always say that this thing is not possible, you can't do it, I believe it can be doable, and I can do it, and I can give it a try. So it is always good to test some challenges. First of all, when I wanted to do public administration reform, people were saying you can't do it. This is Katsina. There are a lot of interest. People will not allow it. They will sabotage it. They will not do that. I said I will do it, and we did it. In fact, and I want to break a jinx, because all the time you speak about politicians, they will tell you they are lies, they don't fulfill their promise, whatever they said is a lie, they are not going to do it, empty promises. I said my promises are not going to be empty, and I will deviate from that fact, and I will make sure that whatever I believe I will do, and I put it, and I promise people I will try to deliver it. in a process of delivering it, if I could not be able to achieve it because of some factors, I'll come back and tell people that because of so reason, we could not be able to achieve this and that. And to God be the glory. All what we have promised to deliver in Katsina State, if we have not completed it, we are almost at the verge of completing it. Leadership require people that are trustworthy, people that care for others, people that speak the truth. I see no reason why we should be attributing some very negative characters or leaders. If you have made up your mind to be a leader, and if God in his infinite mercy made you one, you should try to do something that will give you moral authority to govern. You can be able to turn back and tell your followers to do this because they have never found you wanting in doing the otherwise. Everybody who is ready to take up leadership must have moral authority. Failure to have moral authority, that was the reason that politicians were attacked with different names. We are not perfect. We have shortcomings as human beings. I've never said it anywhere that I'm a perfect person, but I'm trying to be one as much as I can. This is a trust. The money we are spending is not my money. I didn't come along with it from Radda because my father doesn't have this kind of money. But this is money that is entrusted in us. Some people will call us many names. I am Omugunchine, I am Dambakinchikine. Many names. It doesn't bother me. Let's do the right thing. And in the process of doing the right thing, you can even get whatever you want to get. But let it not be our primary aim to have position to accumulate wealth. That should not be our primary responsibility. That should not be the main reason of coming into government. It touches my mind. When I went around, I was in Gobirawa, Dusama local government, where they had the incidents of the bandit. But despite the challenges and despite the problems they are in, they were praying for us. They were cheering us despite the loss. Why? Because they believe in the leadership. And I believe in ka ci amana wa'annan mutanen sai Allah ya ci amanaka. When people have confidence in you and they have trust in you, what you need to do as an individual is to make sure that you do what you can to support those people. It's not that I don't like money. And I know how some of my colleagues are operating. I was a local government chairman. I was a chief executive at the federal level. I know how to get money if I had wanted to. But you should, as much as possible, have human face in whatever you are doing. Put your shoes in the position of others and appreciate what God has done to you. have told everybody who cares to listen that I inherited 4,500 from my late father. And here I am standing as a governor of this state. And people, I was not even the first, second, third people they were expecting will win the election. But God did this favor for me. The only way I can pay back is to try to be fair to people in discharging my responsibility. What you did today, I will not take it for granted. You have done an excellent work. If I had known the committees will do this work and make this presentation, I wouldn't have bothered myself to make a speech tomorrow. Because we have spoken for the administration. And it's not coming from my mouth, it's not coming from any of the government staff. It's coming from people outside this administration. So if I had known, I wouldn't have wasted my time to put up a speech to read tomorrow morning. But since it's ritual, I will still go ahead with it. But at least you have done an assessment and you are part and parcel of the work and the recommendations. The recommendations you have made, we'll try and see what we can to improve on what we are doing. On some of your observations, we'll try to look at those observations and see what we can be able to deliver. But our hope is to be able to meet the expectation, not only of you who have made these recommendations, but the expectations of the entire people of the state. I'm very grateful for what you have done, because this thing that you have done is not for me, it's not for this administration, it's for the people of Katsina State. And I believe the way you have done this, it has really demonstrated to me that there are a lot of people with commitment for the development of Katsina State. Some of you have not, most of you have not gotten an appointment in this administration. There are some of you that have not seen from that time until today. But that does not deter you from doing this excellent work for the people of Katsina State. Please keep tracking us. Keep tracking us. Tell us where we are wrong, tell us where we are right, and tell us where we need to improve. As I told you earlier, we are not perfect. If we are perfect, we wouldn't have called those people to put in their input in our document. But you should help us in making assessment on some of the policies we are adopting, and some of the programs we are implementing. There are some programs that people will feel that are not too important for us to do. There are some that we are doing which, yes, people believe they are. But maybe that is within our judgment. At the wider scope, it may look different. So please, I'm begging you, keep tracking us, keep assessing us, and keep telling us the truth, even if we don't like to hear that truth. Eventually, we may begin to appreciate you after that. That is why I always remain in the social media, check all criticism. In some places, I will see somebody saying that don't open she, and I will manage that. I can arrest him, I can put him behind, but I will just laugh and move ahead. Because I caused it, I called for it, because I demanded for this leadership. And when people give you mandate, they are free to say whatever they want to say. The only thing I may not tolerate is when you are attacking my character, or you are attacking me, or you are making some accusations which are not true. But if you are going to abuse me, abuse me. Even if you want me to come to your house so that you can abuse me, I can come, you abuse me, I go home and sleep. But that will not remove me as a governor. And that will not stop me from doing what I'm doing. So it doesn't matter. But I'm begging you, please keep tracking us. Keep criticizing us where we went wrong. And tell us where we are right so that we can have more courage to do more. I thank you very much for keeping you this late, because those above 60 are really showing in their, it's really showing on their faces. And I hope that all of us will be back to our homes safely. And we thank you very much. For those who travel far to Katsina, I wish you safe journey back to your respective destinations. And lastly, we thank Almighty Allah for sparing our life in good health. I see this day that marks 2 years in office at the helm of affairs of this state. For those who have been supporting us, the State Assembly, the State Executive Council, head of various departments and agencies, permanent secretaries, who have really transformed to reducing some of the processes. And I must say that I appreciate the level of compliance of the permanent secretaries in our policy direction. And that, I believe, is because of the adoption of the merit-based competency test for permanent secretaries. And I have said it many times, all the permanent secretaries should raise their head high that they got this position on merit, not because somebody has lobbied for them. And what I had wanted to achieve, I'm gradually achieving it, because the level of lobby has now reduced to the barest minimum in the state. Nobody lobbies me for anything. For any position that you are deemed to achieve or to reach, you will reach it. You don't need to know me, you don't need to know a commissioner, you don't need to know anybody in this state. And even those children that we took to Egypt and China to study artificial intelligence and MBBS, they are the children of the poor background, those who attended public school. And it was purely merit-based. I did not have a single 1% input on the children that have gone for these studies. And nobody will say he has. And even the model schools that we are about to commission, merit-based admission into those schools, and I will give 70% priority to those in the rural area, because they are the less people that have less opportunities. Recruitment of teachers, 7,326. I did not give a single teacher out of those 7,000. I didn't allow anybody to do. And when we discovered that some people have done that, we cancel it and then redo it again. Members of State Assembly are sitting here. I didn't give one of them one single slot. I told them anybody that came from Safana is a citizen of Safana and should be proud is a member of your constituent. So why should you worry that you must bring somebody? The same thing with all employment. Even the health sector, those we employ, we advertise. And people who are competent, in fact, even some appointment in the state government that required my single appointment for me to do it, I decided to advertise in the newspaper so that we can get the best of the best. Why? Because we need to inject competency into the government. Despite the political challenges, yes, we'll give politics some percentage and also merit some percentage so that we can have the combination of politics and merit in the appointment. And then with that, we can be able to have a hybrid governance system in the state. So thank you, good night, and God bless the state and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.